Hello and welcome again to another video by Econo Insight. In this video, we'll discuss the future of GDP growth projections. It will not be a long video, but let's get into it. So as a start, if we see the projected US share of world GDP, we see that there is an overall trend in declining, right? So in the future, in 2100, the United States will be a sideshow to the global economy, probably like what Germany is today to the world's economy. So we can see this declining pattern. So now let's see the GDP growth projections for other countries and other regions in the world. So first, one thing to note, in doing these projections, the source notes that the projections assume that capital moves to countries based on their technology and number of workers. And then projections also assume that technology in other regions catch up. Keyword here is catch up with that in the United States. So technology spills over and capital moves to the number of workers and places where there are technology. So those are the assumptions. Assumptions are very important in economic models. So now let's see first the population share in 2014. We have China at 19.2%, followed by India at 18.1%, and so on and so forth. And now let's see the corresponding GDP share. In 2014, China dominates the GDP share by having 17.4% of global GDP share, followed by the United States, and so on. India, which is second on the population share, 18.1% population share, is at fourth at 7.1% GDP share in 2014. But now let's move on to far in the future in 2100 and see the projections. We can see in 2100, Sub-Saharan Africa will dominate the population at 32% of the world's population in Sub-Saharan Africa, followed by India, Middle East, and China. Now we can see, if we see correspondingly with the projected GDP share in 2100, Sub-Saharan Africa has 27.3% in GDP share, followed by India, Middle East, China. So what we can see here is that the big idea is that the countries which has the biggest population shares also have the biggest projected GDP shares. So that is the interesting observation here. If you see, it neatly follows the order: Sub-Saharan Africa, India, Middle East, China, South Asia Pacific, Western Europe, Brazil, Mexico. So it follows perfectly, actually. So this can be inferred because if we see our assumptions here, projections assume capital moves to countries based on their technology and number of workers. So hence, capital moves there, the population increases, then the capital moves there to that country where the population increase. So hence, we can see ostensibly that the countries which has higher population will have higher output and will dominate the world's GDP. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.